Welcome to Music and Medicine. Welcome to Music and Medicine.
Welcome to Music and Medicine. I'm your host, Dr. Moshe Lewis.
Welcome to another episode of Music and Medicine. I'm your host, Dr. Moshe Lewis, and I am so excited and ecstatic. I mean, this is almost feeling like family, where we get to talk to After 7, who has now had their latest release of No Place Like You. This is on an album, Unfinished Business. And gentlemen, welcome. I want you to sort of tell everybody who you are. We know who you are, but sometimes the introductions certainly help. I'm going to lead off with you, Kavan. Just let them know who you are and a little bit about the group.
Well, you just said it. I'm Melvin Edmonds, one of the members of the group of After 7. Been doing this for well over 30 plus years. We'll just leave it right there. Man, we've been doing this, loving to be back on the scene with some fresh new music and with this new titled album, Unfinished Business.
Excellent. And Keith?
I'm Keith Mitchell. Again, just like Kevin, I've been sticking right beside him a little over 30 years, and we are excited with this new project, Unfinished Business. Our current singles that was released this week, No Place Like You. We're excited to be back and to share our music with the public.
Sure. And certainly, Mr. Daniel.
My name is Danny McClain. I've been with the group for about 27 years in spirit, but 3 years in counting physically. So, just excited to be here, excited to make this year count with our new album, Unfinished Business, to give everybody that love talk that everybody's been looking for.
Absolutely. And that's where I want to jump right in. It may seem obvious, but just tell us, at least to you, since you brought that title up, and it can mean so many different things. What does the album and the title Unfinished Business mean to you, Daniel?
For me, Unfinished Business is, personally, it just means that there's a lot that After 7 is putting to the table where love is at the forefront. We don't get to hear that a lot. We always hear about gimme, 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 what can you do for me? But the time of the chivalrous gentleman is kind of, I know it's kind of cliche, but there's a lot of guys out there and there's a lot of women out there that love that and they're looking for that. They might not want to say it because they don't want to sound cheesy or anything. But at the end of the day, everybody's looking for love. And we're not afraid to talk about that. We're not afraid to bring that to the table. Therefore, me personally, I think that's a part of what Unfinished Business means to me.
Absolutely. And Keith, I know this is also very personal for you. What's your interpretation, not only of the album, but those words, Unfinished Business? What does it mean? What do you want to
Well,
our fans?
I think it adds another chapter to the content and the quality of After 7 music over a 30-year period. And it stands for the opportunity to get further of a completion of a body of work that represents us, Melvin, Jason, Danny, Kevon, and myself.
Absolutely. And Kavan, of course, I follow you like a hawk, and I know a lot of people do. So this week you posted a loving tribute to Melvin. Tell us a little bit about that first song. Although we had covered it, we certainly want to really highlight Bittersweet and what it meant to you and the importance of Melvin's memory, as well as his importance in founding the group.
Wow. Okay. Well, let me see. I would say that first off, Melvin was that guy who kind of really, he was the spearhead of the group. He was the soul of the group. Really kind of set the tone, I think, for us as Keith and I. He was without a doubt a lead vocalist in his spirit. He always knew it, and I could comfortably take a backseat to Mr. Melvin Edmonds when he stepped into the studio or whatever. When he was on the stage, he just exuded a certain confidence, a quiet confidence that he just delivered every time, whether it was in the studio, you need to go in there and sing a part, done. Step up on the stage, not to worry, he's going to kill it. And that's what we knew about Melvin. So very integral part of the family of this family after 7, shaping the group up, I would say. This past week would have been his 60th birthday. And we miss him. We miss him. And, it was good to hear his voice on the tribute, just to hear his voice again, because it was so distinct when he sung his parts, whenever he stepped up to the plate to deliver. You always knew that you were going to get some good soul from this guy. He was always going to deliver, and so when we did this project, we knew that Melvin in spirit was a part of this. We were really thrilled to find certain excerpts in the process of recording this record to, let his voice, his speaking voice, be heard, and just tell a little something about who he was and what he thought about the group, what he thought about family and things of that nature. So that was a very intimate part of creating this album. But so we know that he's here with us in spirit. He's watching over us right now. Bittersweet to have the opportunity to deliver a unique and different sound for After 7. We just were very grateful that our fans and listeners who have supported us over the years gave us the kind of leeway, if you will. They allowed us to stretch and do something a little different that you might not have expected to hear come from After 7. But they gave us the room to do it. This song climbed the charts, got to number 8 in the top 10, which meant that, it touched some people, moved some people. They weren't so thrown by the fact that we were giving them something fresh and new. And they're still with us. But I think we're also equally excited right now because we're delivering something that is classic, the classic sound of After 7, and something that they know they can hang their hat on. They know what they're going to get with this song, No Place Like You. So we're really excited that we just dropped this single this past week, or earlier this week. Looking for great things on this record.
Excellent. Keith, many people say that quality should reign supreme over quantity, and you've certainly been with the group as well. And what does that mean to you when it comes to really putting your all and putting that professionalism into a product and into a song like No Place Like You?
Well, I think it goes back to how we were brought into the business, how we were introduced to recording from one of the two best producers in the business, songwriters and vocal producers, Daryl Simmons and Babyface Kenneth Edmonds. Their professionalism is what has allowed us to have this tenure in the business and to go and to approach a song in a way that is emotionally charged, something that I think we probably got from our church days, our childhood days, the love and passion for music, but the ability to interpret that and transfer it onto a record is something that I think Daryl Simmons and Babyface, their imprint, we became their guinea pigs when we went into the studio because we had no knowledge of how we sounded on tape, but they were the guide arms that pushed us forward. And so that level of excellence is the mold that we've, tried to be consistent with when we come into the studio. And even in the unfinished business project, Damon Thomas, who was an understudy as a producer with Babyface, he brings that same sense of excellence to your presentation on the record. So I think that's just something that's part of who we are, making sure that our passion and our love comes out in our illustration of the lyrics in a song.
The last time we were together, Daniel, we talked about sort of not only how you've come up to speed, but certainly surpassed expectations. What does this song mean to you? And what are some of the special things that you were trying to convey in No Place Like You?
Mm.
What does the song mean to me? Well, at the moment, this guy right here is single. So let me just point that out. I'm an Aquarius and I'm single. But when singing the song, you know, the lyrics that Felly the Voice, Judd Mahoney, and Benjamin Button put together with Damon Thomas, when they laid it down, a lot of times when I'm listening to music, I always gravitate towards the music first, the melody first, before I listen to the lyrics. But once we got into the studio, once I got into the booth, I know Keith and Kevon were in my ear about, you know, delivery. You know, everything is about delivery. Everything is about intention. So I had to sit down with the lyrics. And for me, what it came down to was, okay, you know, this is just a different way of saying what, you know, everybody has been trying to say, you know, in a sense of, you know, you, like you are my home. You are where I need to be, you know, in a sense of, you know, not feeling us complete, you know, and how do I convey that in the studio? Well, let's do what I got to do. So I went in there, tackled it, try to be as convincing as possible. I thought about love from my experiences and put it into the song. So I hope that listeners out there will be able to enjoy what we brought to the table. Yeah.
Absolutely. Goodbye. We're not going to make the audience wait any much longer. Set us up for the song in terms of some of the things that you had in mind and take us into it.
Wow. You know, this is a unique song, one of the songs that we almost walked out the studio and didn't cut this song. But at the last moment, walking out the door one evening, we said, hey, wait a minute. We need to take a look at this one song. And we kind of played with it that evening. And the next day we came in, the gentleman had written the song. And it's an interesting thing for us to go back into the studio. For Keith and I, and what we've known, we've always gone into the studio. We had a day or so to kind of live with the song, just let it, you know, resonate within you. But this, we were on a different schedule here. And for us, we came in that night and they wrote that song that night and we were singing that song that night. It's kind of how this happened with No Place Like You. But a beautiful song. It just resonates within you, talks about just, you can do a lot of things in this world, have a lot of experiences, but it's almost like the movie, wow, I'm losing my thought about what this movie was, you know, what good is success if you can't share it with someone? Was it Mahogany or something? Telling my age, but anyway, what good is success if you don't have someone
to share it with?
You know, wherever you are, whatever it is you're doing, it doesn't really make that much of a difference if you can't have that special someone. And wherever that someone is where home is. And that's really what this song is about, called No Place Like You. I hope they love it.
I certainly know we are going to. No Place Like You by After Seven on the album Unfinished Business. I'm going to jump right back in. I think that the passion that gets conveyed here, there are so many visuals in the song. You can literally, as you listen to it, really imagine that this really certainly might be the life of many of us who are on the road, who are busy, who are caught up in the hustle and bustle, and maybe chasing after fame. I'm going to send this question to Keith. In what types of ways do you feel like you may even personally embody that in your relationship, where there are words or different things that you come across as you may be singing them, where you're like, oh, that might be a good line for me to use, or a way to say I'm sorry, or a way to express how I feel about her, because that's pretty poetic.
Well, honestly, I think Philly the Voice, as a writer, this guy just has a phenomenal way of interpretation, from taking a track and matching it with with words. I mean, but he's used some words in his illustration that I probably might not come up with in my own personal expression of love and appreciation for a woman. But his way of putting the words together were phenomenal. just the like Danny was talking about the melody. The song is just set up in such a way that it touches you to get to sing it. It touches you to listen to it. It will take a woman to a place where she finally really understands the depth of the passion of your love for her. And if a guy puts this song on and can sing any pieces of this song in his own words, it's going to be a moving thing. But me personally, I couldn't come up with these beautiful words the way, feng shui, like a sensei. I just wouldn't have went there, but Philly has a phenomenal way of saying something that we've all said for hundreds of years, and he can put it in another way and make it feel so good. And that's what he did with this record. It's amazing.
Absolutely. I love it. The visuals, and like you said, some of the words that were there, I definitely wouldn't have thought of rhyming it with that. And it really kind of helps you keep your ears open.
Yes.
Dan, I'm not going to try to dig too deep, but as you sort of find yourself on the highways and byways and things like that, are there times where you may feel, gosh, here's how I pick myself up and here's how I kind of get ready for a performance? And there are just certain moments and times or maybe even some of the words or lyrics of some of the songs that you sung that really help do it for you, that basically act as a pick-me-up or maybe, dare we say it, a way to wine and dine.
Who's that question to?
Oh, that's what you
know. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Being on stage is therapy for me. It allows me to step into a world that otherwise I would not be in. You know what I mean? So once I get on that stage, and especially when I start singing these songs, especially No Place Like You, it puts me in a place where I can be that guy now. Whether I got a woman on my arms or not, I can be that guy for that moment. We can be that group, that moment for the audience. You know what I mean? Convey this song in such a way. And it just ends up being an escape to a fantasy that I can't quite explain, but it's amazing that we can be able to have the grace to do what we do, and performing for an audience that wants to hear what we have to say, wants to see what we can bring to the table. So, with all that in mind, that's what keeps me motivated when I get on that stage. It's a conglomerate of all those things put together.
Come on, I know our time can only be but so much, given all the demands that all of you have, and I appreciate everybody being so kind with their time. Couples go through so many ups and downs that many times we will hide, and I can say we because certainly I'm racing to 20 years of marriage, because it just is embarrassing, or we don't want to admit, or these aren't things that are talked about. What are just maybe some pearls or just some ideas, some of which may spring from this song that you've used or that you would give advice to a couple that maybe going through a little bit of a rocky moment, as they hear something like this or think about listening to your song?
Wow. After Seven has always been a group that has sung about the love, and the ins and outs, the ups and downs. And as people, as humans, we're going to experience all of that, the variety of different emotions and feelings that we'll have and share towards one another at some point in time as we go through our relationship, whether it's boyfriend, girlfriend, whether it's a marriage, or whether you're dating. It's about developing a trust. It's really about developing a trust between two people and having an appreciation for one another. But without that trust, there's not room for the communication, honest communication. I think that's what it takes with any of us when we go through relationships at all. I think that trust is the one thing that kind of keeps it together, that along with communication. And if there's love in the house, those are going to be the cornerstones, that will keep you together. And let me not omit, first and foremost, God. Now, that's where we come from. And you got to keep God in your life, but you use these other cornerstones to help maintain a balance in a nice, healthy relationship. Yeah, you're going to go through some things. Yeah, you're going to be mad. Hopefully don't go to bed mad at your woman or your husband. You want to get all that straight. You don't go to bed mad. We know you're not supposed to do that. But if you can get past those hurdles, whatever it is that you're going through, I think as long as you're honest and trusting with each other, you're going to prevail. You're going to get through. And we are just like we're the icing on the cake. We come and we pour a little sauce on everything that you got going on. We got a story. We got a relationship. We got something that's going to tell you, a circumstance, a situation that's going to speak to you in some kind of way or another that helps you get through. And I think one of the best gifts that we get from time to time is to have individuals, and not just women, but men, who will come up and share with us how our music helped to aid them in their relationship and help to keep them together. And so while we may talk about their ups and downs, for the most part, we like to talk about love in the most positive way, to appreciate and honor the women that we love. And it's nice for us as Black men to share that with other Black men, to let them know that, hey, you got a queen, so treat her as a queen. You're going to go through some things. She might have to come at, you're going to go through some things. But moreover, love will prevail, and that's who we are. We're bringing you love. When After Seven steps up on the stage, it's all about love.
Absolutely.
Bittersweet.
There it is.
What you want?
What you want.
And I love it, and we can't get enough. Our show is Music and Medicine, and you've heard that love itself certainly can be a recipe, and After Seven is bringing it to us for success in a relationship. But communication is actually key. The foundation, however, should rest upon godly principles and really trying to constantly walk in that path of life. There will be struggles, there will be travails, there'll be ups and downs, but we can always rely on After Seven to not only have been there for us, but sometimes even have the music that can be the soundtracks for our hearts, our relationships, and even sometimes our challenges. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for the sincere and honest comments and things of that nature. And we look forward to continuing to put this together as the album has various releases and singles.
Request that record.
Yeah.
So on that note, let's not end without a shameless plug. I'll give it to Danielle for the Instagram, the song.
No place like you. Yes,
That's right. Make sure y'all follow us on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. That's at After Seven Music. Oh my God, that's at After Seven Music. Matter of fact, you can go to our Instagram bio. You click on the bio, and you can go purchase our signed, signed Unfinished Business album, sent to your doorstep, ready to play in your vehicle at any moment in time. And follow us. Get ready for those dates. What are those dates? That's November 19th in Philly. That's November 28th in Atlanta. Houston, Dallas, we coming to you. We're coming everywhere.
And to you, Dr. Moshe, I got to say, amen. The way you said that, you sound like Pastor Moshe.
That just makes perfect. So I'm learning from the best. I'm trying to make sure I get all those lyrics and get grandma's recipe and mix it all up and make sure I deliver, with a smile or the secret sauce. Thanks so much. It's always a pleasure, and we appreciate continuing to hear phenomenal music. And
thanks for having us back on, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Definitely a pleasure. We look forward to doing it again and again. Thanks again. Good night.
Take care.
Good night.
Good. I think we're good. Let's make sure. Good. Yeah, it was great.
Excellent. Yeah.
All right.
Pastor Moshe.
Exactly.
Pastor Moshe.
Amen. I'll take that off pretty soon. There's a couple of ants here that might leave some crumbs. But yeah, no, definitely a pleasure. And I will I'll follow up with Jamil on that invite and things like that. And yeah, we'll just keep brainstorming for success. That's the goal.
Outstanding.
All righty.
So much, man.
Sure. Have a great night.
Hopefully, where you at, Moshe? You in LA?
Yeah, I'm in California, so it's super. Yeah, I'm in LA, so it's super early.
That's
Okay.
what I was
I'm
like.
just thinking. Hopefully,
we'll
get out there in 2022 and perform where you
Right,
can come and see us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we usually try to do record it SIR, and so obviously I probably know pretty far in advance because Jamil and I are forming a pretty good relationship, and I'm getting better at figuring out how to reach him. So
Okay.
So busy man. So yeah, I look forward to something like that, putting it together. Sounds great.
All right. Appreciate
Thanks so much. Sure. Get some rest. Thanks so much, gentlemen.
All right, thanks.
All right.
All right.
Welcome to Music and Medicine. Welcome to Music and Medicine. Welcome to Music and Medicine. I'm your host, Dr. Moshe Lewis.